everybody, welcome back to Straight Talk Immigration with yours truly, Odette Montalibano, licensed Canadian immigration consultant based here in Toronto, Canada. I know it's been a long time since the last video. I miss you guys. Obviously, I have taken a long break, but now, yes, I'm back, and hopefully I'll be making more videos, more informative videos for you guys. Okay, so for today's video, I would just like to talk about the process of how to become an international student here in Canada. So there are two stages to the international student application. The first stage is to secure a letter of acceptance from a Canadian college or university, and the second stage is to get your study permit approval from Immigration Canada. Okay, so let's go to the first stage, which is to obtain a letter of acceptance from a college or university. So for this stage, I can assist you guys with getting your with processing your college or university applications. So all we need to start the process is first you send me your resumes for an initial assessment, and from that initial assessment, then I will be able to recommend some programs that are suited for your educational background and work experience, right? But you're also free to check into the programs that you feel would be suitable for you, for your career goals in the future. The general requirements for the application will include, of course, your valid passport. Okay, so ideally the passport shouldn't be expiring within the next 2 years, right? Because I usually recommend programs that are 2-year programs. So for the passports, I would prefer that we submit passports that are valid in the next 2 years, right? So that's one of the requirements. The other requirements would be your education credentials. So we would need your education credentials from high school, college, and postgraduate studies if you've had masteral studies. So these education credentials will include your completion certificates or diplomas and your transcript of records. And then we would also need proof of English proficiency, which is your English test report. So these are the general requirements for college applications, right? So usually after we submit the college applications, then we will see if they have additional requirements that the student needs to comply with, right? So processing time, and of course, I almost forgot application fee. So we have to pay, our students have to pay a non-refundable administrative and application fee. Okay, so processing time for these applications are usually within 30 to 60 days if the intake is still open for applications. Now, if the program is already closed for applications, then your application would just be pending, and it will be put into key, or is already in key for the next intake. Okay, now once we obtain an approval from the college, then it is time that we proceed with the study permit application before Immigration Canada. Okay, so for Immigration Canada, of course, we would need your letter of acceptance from the college or university, and then your valid passport. Other general requirements would include your proof of funds, your medical test report, and police clearances. Okay, so those are the general requirements, and of course additional requirements depend on the circumstances of your application. Okay, so I mentioned proof of funds. So proof of funds are mandatory. So aside from your tuition fee, right? So it's also part of the general requirements. You need to show proof that you've paid your tuition fee. This could be a partial payment. This could be a full payment, right? The tuition fee. So it depends on your application. So for proof of funds, going back to the proof of funds, as I said, are mandatory. If you're coming to Canada alone as a student, right, your proof of funds should be 10,000 Canadian dollars. Now, if you have a wife or a husband or a common law partner and you want them to come with you to Canada, then you need to add to your proof of funds. So you need to add 4,000 Canadian dollars. So your proof of funds would now then total to 14,000 Canadian dollars. Now, in cases where you have a child and you also want to bring your child with you to Canada, then you also need to show proof of funds for your child, and that would be 3,000 Canadian dollars. So for a family of 3 people, including you, you would need 17,000 Canadian dollars proof of funds, right? So yes, it's a good, it's a good program, because it's a good immigration program, because you are able to bring your family with you, but then you also have to show that your family can settle here without resorting to Canada's welfare system. Now, the beauty of this is that when your spouse or common law partner comes with you, they are given a open work permit, meaning they can work for any employer here in Canada, right? So you as a student, you will get a study permit and you will study full-time, right? And your spouse or common law partner will get an open work permit and they can work full-time for any employer in Canada. Of course, the conditions of their work permit will be written in their work permit document. And your child, if your child is in preschool, your child will be given a visitor visa. But if your minor child is already of school age, right, the child can apply for a study permit, and he can study in Canada's public school system for free, right? So as a student yourself, while you are a full-time student, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week or part-time during the school semester. But when you go on break, let's say you go on a winter break, right, you are allowed to work for 30 hours a week. So those are some general information about the international student stream. If you have questions about this stream, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section, or you can also email me at mch.immigration@gmail.com, and I will also write down my email in the description box of this video. Okay, so if you want to get an assessment for the international student stream, please email me your resumes. Again, it's at mch.immigration@gmail.com, and I will get back to you with an initial assessment. Okay, so I think that's it for today's video. Thank you guys once again for watching, and I hope I can, do more videos frequently. So I can't promise right now, but I hope to do it. But always stay safe, everyone, and yeah, take care. Until next time.